So today, let's just talk about your program, talk about what you put me on, talk about your philosophy, and what you would specifically offer to actors in the nutrition journey. Because some people might be saying, with fitness and nutrition for an actor, well, they might be like, well, who cares whether I'm an actor? It's the same. I'm a human, so a human body is a human body. But what do you do to tailor and specify the programs for actors?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's finding a program that allows them to stay consistent. Because if you can't be consistent, I mean, you're not going to see results. And time is a value. So you finding a plan that allows actors to not having to go to the gym 5-6 days a week. 'Cause, the fitness industry is preaching a lot of move more, eat less, be in a calorie deficit. That's how you're going to get there. And you got all these Weight Watchers and these Jenny Craig diets, keto, vegan, paleo, carnivore, all of these diets that promote the restriction of either calories or a certain macronutrients. And the reality of it is that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do that at all. You got to find a way that it's going to make it sustainable for you, that works for you. If it's vegan, fine. We're going to make it work that way. But don't try to jump from train to train just because it's the next new shiny object. Or just like when you scroll on Facebook, make money online now with this new tool. Everybody wants the quick fix. This is what I'm noticing. I've been there. I wanted to, I've done drop shipping. I've tried many things to make more money online. The same goes for fitness, right? With all these new trends. So I love to simplify everything, just like I do with my auditions, 2 to 3 times per week, and because if you can't, strength is king, in my book. Doing all this cardio and this, cutting carbs and all that, it's probably one of the last tool I would use for, let's say, fat loss, for example. But as far as, strength training, if you want to develop this sort of movie star look, which, if you're a man, it would be, a nice shoulder to waist ratio. You gotta have to reach a certain body fat percentage to have this sort of movie star lean look, which is close to that 10%. For some, it needs to be a little bit lower, so 8 to 10%. Sometimes you can go all the way to 12%. But it's important to have a plan, because when you get to that body fat percentage, it's kind of tough to maintain long term. And you got auditions to take care of. There's seasons that are busier. You want to stay sharp in your craft, and if you have all this mental fogness and you can't concentrate, that could be part of the lack of nutrient you've been having. Being in a caloric deficit for too long and dieting for too long and doing these HIIT trainings for 5-6 days a week and pushing, not sleeping so well, staying up late at night, eating processed foods that raises your inflammation, makes you you have food sitting in your stomach, and you go to bed, you're still digesting, you don't get into that deep sleep. You raise your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone. And when your body is stressed, if Joey or Brendan, if you're running from a bear, you're not thinking about losing body fat. You want to survive. The same goes for that. If you keep not resting well, you push yourself too much, you undereat or overeat, that just raises your cortisol levels. You hold on to more body fat, especially in the midsection. That affects your mood, your energy. I know a lot of actors who are stressed and anxious all the time. The business is already stressful as it is. Why would you want to add stress to your body? Right? It just doesn't make any sense for me. So first, we got to address those lifestyle habits. So working on, rest. So finding ways to optimize your sleep quality so that you can wake up more refreshed. Optimizing your hormones, which comes from managing your stress levels, working on a certain nutrition protocol that is in line, with your goals and what's your current lifestyle, because everybody's different, right? Finding a workout plan that allows you to work on your weaknesses. Everybody is at different fitness levels. So, making sure that we have good form initially, working on motor control, like you were doing your bicep curls earlier, slower on the way down,
Yeah.
things like that. So time under tension is really important, because if you can, build that neural drive, which, everything comes from the brain, well, then it's easier for you to connect, the muscle you're working on, and then it becomes easier to generate more strength. And then, there's phases where, you got to make the muscle bigger, which is hypertrophy in the 8 to 12 rep range. But once that's bigger, it can become stronger. So that's when we can include a phase where we go way, way lower in reps. So, 3 to 4 reps, and really work on elevating the load, generating more strength. If you have more strength, then you can generate more hypertrophy. So having these phases every 4 to 6 weeks to switch things up, and, building your relative strength so that you can get also lean, keep your strength. And that's where you really get that movie star body, the movie star look. But, also I want to give you the tools so that, when, you prepare yourself for a shoot, you know exactly what to do so that you don't burn yourself out. And, after that, let's say you just want to maintain and, roll off for a while, just to maintain your energy levels and, stay energized. And then when you book a gig, maybe you're 2 3 weeks out from being your tip top shape, so that it's very easy to maintain and keep those good habits. So I know this was a lot of information, but that's really is my philosophy. And yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that. And again, what I love is it's holistic.
Yeah.
You're not just prescribing me a workout and saying take all these supplements and just go get jacked. It is about looking at it holistically and energetically, making sure I got the right amount of sleep, making sure I got the right amount of nutrients. So to explain to people at home how it worked when I met you, we met in person to just talk about my goals and to go over what I want out of this. I think you had sent me a questionnaire, like an onboarding thing, talking about my goals, so all the information that you needed, and then really you just set me up with some documents in a Google Drive, real simple. The biggest thing for me throughout all this is just actually tracking and measuring. It's you hear that term, you can't improve what you don't measure. So you need actual results. So I know a lot of times if when we're not feeling great about our health and fitness, maybe we avoid the scale, maybe we avoid calorie counting. You don't want to be obsessive about it, like you were saying, but you want to be aware of it at least, and have some awareness. And I find when I'm tracking things, everything else is simple.